You wake up on a Tuesday and realize you've been playing the same game for 7 years. Not a video game, the game. The one where you tell yourself you're going to change and then you don't. You've read the books, you've made the lists, you've downloaded the apps, but somewhere between 9 a.m. and the moment your head hits the pillow, you slip back into the grooves. The comfortable grooves, the ones that feel like home because they're familiar, not because they're good. What if I told you that you don't need a year to fix your life? What if you don't even need a month? What if 48 hours, 2 days, could genuinely reset the trajectory of everything? Most people hear that, and they think it's clickbait. They think you're selling something, but here's what I realized after I did this. The 48-hour window doesn't fix your life. It reveals what you've been refusing to see about it, and that's actually more valuable. It started on a Friday afternoon. I was sitting in my car outside a coffee shop, and I couldn't remember the last time I'd felt genuinely proud of myself. Not the Instagram version of proud, not the version where you tell your friends something good happened. I'm talking about the thing you feel when no one's watching, and you know you did the right thing. That feeling was gone, and I had no idea when it left. No. So I made a decision that probably sounds crazy, but it wasn't. I wasn't going to do anything revolutionary. I was going to do something simple. I was going to spend 48 hours saying no to every distraction and yes to only 3 things. The truth about my situation, one person I'd been avoiding, and my body. Friday night, I turned off my phone. Not silent, off. The anxiety hit immediately. Within 20 minutes, my hand was reaching for it out of pure reflex. That's when you know how deep the hook goes, when your body reaches for something before your mind even registers it. But I didn't turn it back on. Instead, I did something worse. I sat with it. I opened a document. And I didn't write about my goals or my vision or my future self. I wrote about the last 12 months exactly as they happened. Not the highlight reel version, the real version. The 2 a.m. versions, the times I chose comfort over integrity, the conversations I didn't have, the calls I didn't make, the person I said I wanted to be versus the person I actually was. It took 4 hours. My hand cramped. I cried twice. Once out of shame, once out of something else I couldn't name. That was the first pillar. Truth. Brutal, unfiltered, no audience truth. And here's why this matters. Most self-help exists in abstraction. You're supposed to visualize success and align with your values and manifest abundance. But you're living in specificity. You're living in the Tuesday at 3 p.m. when you chose Netflix over the thing you said mattered. You're living in the exact weight of your words when you lied to someone you love. Self-help fails because it refuses to meet you in the specific dark. So you go first. Quick pause. If you already know exactly what your document would say, the 2 a.m. version, not the highlight reel, type one word below. Truth. Not for anyone else. That's the first line of it. Because what I did the next morning was harder. Saturday morning, I did something I'd been planning to do for 18 months. I called my brother. Not a catch-up call. A real one. We didn't speak for 3 years after a stupid argument that neither of us could even remember clearly anymore. The kind of argument where you're both too proud to move first, and then 3 years pass and it's too late to explain why you waited so long. I'd written his number in my phone 100 times. I'd even dialed it twice, but I'd never hit send. This time I did. My hands were shaking. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times, 4, and then he answered with one word. Hey, not a question, not anger, just acknowledgement. He was waiting. He'd been waiting the whole time. We talked for an hour. It wasn't perfect. We didn't suddenly solve everything, but something broke open. The thing you realize is that the people worth fixing things with usually want to fix them too. They're just waiting to see if you're willing to be the one who moves first, to look like the fool, to admit that you've been wrong about how long 3 years is when someone's not in your life. That was the second pillar, connection, not networking, not building relationships. Actually facing someone you've been avoiding and saying the things that terrify you. Saturday afternoon through Sunday, I moved, not a workout. I hate the gym, I hate running. I hate those things because they feel like punishment. So I didn't do that. I walked. I walked for 6 hours across a city I'd lived in for 4 years but never actually explored. I noticed things. A mural on a building I passed 100 times, the way the light hit the water, an old woman feeding pigeons in a park, a kid learning to ride a bike. The conversation between my lungs and my body became the loudest voice in my head again. It had been so long since that was true. And here's the mechanism that people don't talk about when they talk about exercise. Movement isn't about burning calories. It's about proof. It's about your body reminding your brain that it can still do things, that it can still move through space with intention, that it's not just a vehicle for your face to travel around in. When you move for 6 hours, you can't fake anything. You can't perform. You can only feel. That was the third pillar, embodiment. Reconnection with the thing that's been carrying you around this whole time. 48 hours later, I turned my phone back on. The world hadn't changed. My problems were still there. My bank account was still there. The comment section of my life was still there. But something had shifted. I had looked at three things that actually mattered: truth, connection, and my own body, without the usual noise. Here's what nobody tells you about fixing your life. The fix isn't in the 48 hours. The fix is what you do on hour 49, because by then you know what's true. You know who matters. You know what you're capable of. The question is whether you're willing to be that person when the distractions come back. And they always come back. They're not the enemy. Your small decisions about them, repeated, are the actual trajectory. The trap is thinking the 48 hours saved you. It didn't. It just showed you what you already knew and had been ignoring. What you do next is everything. If some part of you has been waiting for permission to look at your own life this honestly, subscribe. Not for me. So the next one finds you at the right hour. And a free quiz that reveals which of 5 mind types you are is coming soon. Before you go, the hardest part of hour 49 is the habit that pulls you back. There's a video on this channel about why your worst habit isn't a habit at all. It's an identity. It's on your screen now. Watch it next. It's the missing half of these 48 hours.